What if one of the biggest reasons parenting feels so overwhelming today has nothing to do with your child? What if it's because you're trying to do something that humans were never meant to do alone? If you've ever felt guilty for needing a break, if you've ever wondered why parenting sometimes feels lonely, or if you've looked at other families and thought, how are they managing all of this? You're not failing. You might simply be missing something our ancestors had for thousands of years. There's an old saying you've probably heard before. It takes a village to raise a child. Most people treat it like a nice quote, something you might see on a coffee mug or a social media post. But what if it's actually one of the most important truths about raising children? And what if forgetting that truth has quietly made parenting harder than it needs to be? Today we're going to explore where this idea comes from, what modern science says about it, and why creating your own village might be one of the best gifts you can give your child and yourself. Imagine this. It's 2:17 in the morning. Your baby has been crying on and off for nearly an hour. You've already changed the diaper, fed them, rocked them, checked the room temperature, played white noise. Nothing seems to work. Your eyes burn from exhaustion. You haven't had a full night's sleep in weeks. Your partner has an early meeting tomorrow. Your parents live hundreds of miles away. Most of your friends are busy with their own lives. You glance around the house. It's quiet. Too quiet. For a moment you wonder, how did parents ever survive this? The truth is, for most of human history, they didn't do it alone. Think about your typical day. You wake up, prepare breakfast, get your child ready, drive to daycare or school, go to work, come home, cook dinner, clean the house, help with homework, prepare for tomorrow. Finally, you collapse into bed, only to do it all again. Many parents repeat this cycle every day, and somewhere along the way, we've started believing this is normal, that being constantly exhausted is simply part of being a good parent, that asking for help somehow means we're not capable. But history tells a very different story. For thousands of generations, children weren't raised by just two adults. They were surrounded by grandparents, aunts, uncles, older siblings, neighbors, close friends. Everyone had a role, not because parents were weak, but because children benefit from many caring relationships. And parents do too. Here's something interesting. Many parents today spend more time actively interacting with their children than parents did just a few decades ago. They're reading more books, attending more activities, researching sleep, nutrition, development, emotional regulation. They care deeply. Yet surveys in many countries consistently show that parents also report feeling more stressed, more isolated, and more overwhelmed than ever before. How can both things be true? Because parenting isn't just about effort. It's about support. Imagine asking someone to carry a heavy piece of furniture. One person might manage for a few minutes. 2 people can carry it farther. 4 people make it look easy. The furniture didn't become lighter. The load became shared. Children are a little like that. They're not a burden. They're precious. But caring for them requires emotional energy, patience, attention, and time. No one has an endless supply of those things. Social media doesn't always help. You open your phones. One family is baking healthy snacks. Another is doing educational activities. Someone else has an immaculately clean house. Another parent seems calm through every toddler meltdown. It creates an impossible standard. You begin to think, maybe everyone else has figured this out. But here's what you don't see. The grandparents who visited that morning. The neighbor who watched the kids for an hour. The friend who dropped off dinner. The supportive partner behind the camera. Or the moments of frustration that were never posted. Comparison often hides the support systems that make success possible. So here's a question. If humans have spent thousands of years raising children together, why have so many families started trying to do it alone? And more importantly, what does that change mean for our children? The answer begins far before schools, before cities, before modern homes. It begins in a world where survival itself depended on cooperation. And understanding that story may completely change the way you think about parenting. Stay tuned for more interesting information about parenting, and do not forget to drop your thoughts and support us.